What's going on, everybody?
Chris, how's it going?
Oh, good. You're making me work overtime tonight.
I understand, but we are at the beautiful Streamsong Resort. We don't have a Fegley tonight. He is missing. He's in an anniversary dinner with his wife, so he should probably be there. But we've got a Nathan Frazier. So what's going on, Nathan?
Oh, glad to be here in honor of Fegley. I did bring this, so I'll wear the bucket hat tonight for him.
There we go. I love it.
There we go.
Absolutely love it. So, well, welcome from Streamsong. You've been here longer than either of us. We got in today. What do you think so far? Is this your first trip to Streamsong, Nathan?
It's not my first trip. It's my first trip in 3 or 4 years. It's hot. Drink water. That's all I can tell you. Drink water.
Yeah, but the golf courses look like they're in phenomenal shape. So
They are.
that's exciting. Lots of good things. The chain is now open. Short course. Obviously, you saw some VIPs were playing here yesterday.
That was neat.
So that was fun. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Came back from dinner and we're sitting there and driving by the chain and saw these big groups of people with these cameras. And I was like, who's that? And they were like, oh, Smiley Kaufman. And apparently Ricky Fowler was out there earlier in the day. And Justin Thomas was there for a little bit and then had to fly out. But we came in, sat at the main bar, and Smiley Kaufman came, sat right next to me. We had a couple drinks and took a picture together, and great guy.
Nice.
Out here doing a shoot for the Whoop, the bands that keep up heart rate and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Very cool. Very nice. Well, we're excited to be on. We've got 54 holes. For those that don't know a lot about Streamsong, you've got the red, the blue, and the black. The red is Core Crenshaw. The blue is a Tom Doak, and then black, obviously, Hans. There's only one other resort in the world you can get all three of arguably probably the hottest designers in golf right now. That's Bandon Dunes. So, which obviously is in Oregon. We've been there before. Great place. We love Bandon. But, man, looking forward to Streamsong. Since you played the golf courses, which one's your favorite, Nathan?
I like black just because it's longer. And it's par 73, so you get the extra yardage. They're all good. I mean, it's hard to say. They top dressed blue and red the other day, so it's greens are a little slower, but they're going to water them and roll them, and they'll be perfect. The course is perfect. They haven't had rain here, and they said almost 4 weeks now, and
Wow.
So they have. There's been a lot of water sprinklers going during the day, but it's still in great shape. It's perfect.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We got guys sitting at the bar watching. Wish they could be here. 54 holes is unique in the amateur tour world during the regular season. It's going to be fun. Starts on blue on Saturday, then goes to black on Sunday. Which black, I think, if there's any golf course that's the most unique, I'd have to say it was black. Right? Because I feel like you never chip unless you hit it in a bunker because you're going to putt from everywhere because you're really not going to miss a green. The greens are huge. They have fall offs on every hole, and then it's still the green. So very unique golf course, very fun to play, and finish up on red, which really is the championship course of the three. I mean, it's a golfer's golf course, very tough, good to get around. It's a lot of fun. But yeah. 54 holes Saturday, Sunday, Monday. It's going to be exciting here. I'm excited about this 2025 schedule. So I do have one thing I can announce before Jody gets on. He's getting settled in the hotel room. He'll jump on. Jody, Phil, and I, we snuck away to a little site visit today. That's why we got in a little late. Have found a great new venue that we will be attending next year. We're really excited about it. I'm not going to tell you which one it is yet, but I will tell you, for those saving the dates, for the Florida swing of the APT in January, this year it's going to be Wednesday, January 8th, Thursday, January 9th, Friday, January 10th, Saturday, January 11th, and Sunday, January 12th. The 8th through the 12th, so a week earlier than it's been the last couple of years. Doing that so we can get a little bit better golf courses at a better value. It's going to be a great time. So mark the calendars. I know a lot of people have been asking about, booking vacation and things like that. We can say that now. January 8th through January 12th are the dates, so we'll get those going. some point in the near future, we'll get those announced. I know, Nathan, you've been privy, helping us in a few events, and we appreciate that. But the 2025 schedule is going to be killer. Lots of new venues, lots of great spots. It's going to be a great year to be an APT member in 2025.
That's awesome. Looking forward to it. I mean, it's just being here now, knowing that, hearing some of these people at the pool, what they're paying for a hotel room versus what we're paying with APT. They told me, and I just I looked at my wife, and she said she just took a drink of her high noon and said, "Look, just smile."
Yeah, absolutely. Because, APT members this week are paying less than half the other hotel guests. So if you're an APT member at Streamsong this weekend, don't walk around the hotel and tell people what you paid for your hotel room.
Do not.
You will not get many drinks bought for you that way. So just free advice.
I can't do it anymore inside. I can't.
It's okay.
I love Fegley, but I can't.
Well, look who we got. Look what the cat drug in.
Hey. Finally, I had to come all the way to Florida to find good Wi-Fi.
There you go. Look at you. And we got
That's
Chris
the one thing I noticed coming down here when we drove down here. I told my wife, I'm like, we live in right by Chattanooga in a, medium-sized city and have terrible Wi-Fi and service. And we're here in the middle of nowhere, and it's perfect.
Well, I don't think there's a whole lot of hills to interfere with the signal. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I closed on our new house and found out we can get fiber today.
I will say on the courses, what's amazing is for people that haven't been here is when you're driving to Streamsong, you feel like you're just on a Northern Florida black road. But when you pull in, it's a good 3-4 miles to the lodge and to the courses, and you do not feel like you're in Florida. It is a different world. Now the heat's there, the humidity's there, but it's the rolling hills. Just looking out the window now, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, it feels like the first time I played here, the only way I could describe it is it felt like playing golf on the surface of the moon.
Right.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Chris is over here moving, just looking at the different walking trails. And
I did hear the best story ever about these sliding windows. The guys wanted hot dogs when they were done. They do not sell hot dogs on the property. So they brought hot dogs and put them in foil, each one, put it behind the wood and shut the wood when they went to play. And when they came back, it was so hot they were cooked.
Perfect. There we go.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. I'm watching them move your rental right now, Jody, taking to the charger. So
sweet. Good. We came in on the 15% left on the old battery.
A lot of wildlife, a lot of snakes, a whole lot of alligators on red and blue. They will literally walk out to you. So be careful.
They got a couple of big boys on property here too. They've been here for a long time.
They do.
Yeah. So Jody, I feel like we should interview Chris while we're here tonight, just because Chris is never on the live. So
is this gonna be better or worse than Tom Brady's roast?
Oh,
I can't do my boy like that.
Okay, I'll behave.
Arthur's like, let's go.
I'll behave.
Okay, I'll let you ask the first question. We'll do this. We'll go around the horn.
All right. How many hours did you have to drive from Illinois to get down here?
see, this was a relatively short trip, especially after traveling from Pennsylvania to Phoenix back to Illinois. What you'd say 16 to 18 hours?
Yeah, I think it's like 16 and a half, something like that.
How many hours did you drive?
You don't let me drive. You just white knuckle it. I was just sitting in the passenger seat the whole way doing accounting the whole time. Like I'm a QuickBooks savant after this trip.
Hey, Jody, let's be honest. There's a reason for that one.
Wow.
Smart man.
Hey, I'm okay with getting banished to the back seat. It's completely fine. It means I don't have to drive. So it works out.
Driver gets to control the radio too.
That's right.
Which is why we don't let Papa Steve drive.
Natural law of order.
Jody, I think on the way home, I'm just going to listen to 70s on 7 the whole way.
Okay.
Oh, I will be getting out at a Love's and Ubering to the nearest airport. If that's the case. So anyway,
no, thank you.
So here's what I want to know, Chris. In all seriousness, obviously you've been to every major since the APT's ever been. What's your favorite spot to go to so far? Give me a top 3 and why. All the places we've been.
Wow.
I'm curious what your top 3 is. The non-golf
like an actual top 3, not like Matt's top 10. That's really like 50.
That's fair.
Oh man, I was planning on rattling off all of them. No, it's tough, and they're all for different reasons. Omni Bedford Springs is one of my favorites.
Good
Omni,
choice.
as far as course condition, the scenery, the history, layout, you can't get much better than that. It's a small town feel, and all of our players always love it. So Omni's a top. Streamsong is a top, not because I'm here, but because it truly is one of the best golf resorts in the world. I can't speak highly enough about the Streamsong staff. Joy, Drew, Andrea, they've all been fantastic to work with. It's just a top-notch experience, not only from the player side, but also from the operator side. They make things a lot easier than most courses do. And then,
Well, and it's just the little details like, getting this in the room when we walk in tonight.
Baby Mender.
That's huge.
That's pretty cool.
yeah, and they take all those things into consideration. And I would say my other one would be Ambrier, which we're heading to next.
Our boy Kevin.
Head pro Kevin Schaefer, good friend of Matt and I. A big reason of why I think where we're at on the national level as well. I don't know if Matt would have pushed as hard as what he did without the support of Kevin. And, it's the home of the APT. And, the same thing, though. We go to Ambrier, they take care of us from the operator side, but they really take care of our players, and they take pride in their golf course. It's basically the 3 courses that I just mentioned. We always work together and not against each other, which goes a long way, and the players feel that.
What are you trying to say, Chris? That doesn't happen at every major we go to.
One can dream.
Oh,
That's pretty funny.
It's always fun. So, what's your favorite gift you've gotten from a member? There's a good question for you. You don't have to name the member. Chris gets a lot of anonymous gifts.
I do get a lot of anonymous gifts. I don't know.
And preferably not a gift that you had to go get a shot for.
I don't really know how to come back after.
I have a comment, but I probably should not say it.
Right. No, all of our members are incredibly generous.
This went to APT After Dark really quick.
One of my favorites is a member at Omni brought me a bottle of bourbon for the drive, and he made sure to specify that it's for when you're done driving, not when you're driving.
And it was drank in the hotel by Amarillo, right?
Yeah, and Mark and I took care of that.
So we miss Mark. Oh, I guess you got to talk louder, Chris. You're getting yelled at.
Nathan's doing my job now.
There we go. We'll let Nathan drive. Well, we got some topics tonight. We've got obviously majors coming up. We need to probably go through the gamut and run through. Got an exciting announcement tomorrow, so stay tuned. So that'll be fun. So after Streamsong, obviously we got a week off, and then Ambrier, which we can roll right into in St. Louis. Sold out field, 164 players. Have a golf course for pretty much the entire day. It's going to be a good time. Jody, you've played Ambrier, right?
Yes.
Now, why don't you talk a little bit about it?
A couple of times, actually.
Yeah, good spot.
Oh, Ambrier is great. It's it's funny. It's probably the most bipolar golf course I've ever played. The front 9 is rolls through the cornfields and pretty wide open and benign. There's not a whole lot to really get trouble to get into, and then you make the turn and go to the back nine, and you drop off into Sherwood Forest, and Robin Hood and Little John are back there kicking the shit out of you the whole time that you're going through the back nine. So it's a totally different feel going from front to back. So a couple of really good finishing holes too, 9 and 18. To finish up your both sides. It's a cool little track, and in the middle of nowhere, kind of a it's kind of like the APT. It's a small town family feel. Owned by the same family and operated by them, and they treat people right. And it's kind of worth the drive just to go off the beaten path a little bit to go check them out.
Yeah, absolutely. Easy to get to. St. Louis is obviously an easy city to get to. It's about 30 minutes from the airport in St. Louis. I'm in little Waterloo, Illinois, which is a fun town. One of my favorite towns in anywhere. Just hang out. It's a neat little downtown square. It's a fun weekend to come to. The Cardinals are in town if you want to catch a baseball game. I can say that now because we've won 8 of the last 10. So we're not in last place anymore, so don't judge.
Don't be like the Cub fans and get all excited in May.
I'm not excited.
Okay.
Just back to the point that I would consider going to a game again. So after the last one we went to, we lost 14-1. I was kind of off that train for a while. But, from Ambrier, then we go straight to Sequoia, which Sequoia I think is another one of those hidden gems in a really cool spot. I know, Nathan, you're going to be up there. There's some bets on the 4-ball on Friday already.
Yeah, if you want to play the 4-ball, just sign up for second. Feel free.
Hey,
me and Fegley are going to take it.
The Fegs.
But Sequoia is fun because it's up in the mountains. If you've never been up in the mountains, up in North Carolina, it's a great place to be in the summer. Father's Day, it's going to be perfect. Carolina's PGA is there for an event right after us. So the golf course is in the best shape. And what's interesting about Sequoia is
beautiful scenery, a lot of really, mountainscape golf holes, severe terrain and that sort of thing. So unlike what most of us get to play on a regular basis.
Yeah, and there's a lot of secret restaurants up there that are off the beaten path that are unbelievable.
Cherokee's a cool little low key spot.
It is.
Yeah,
I'm a Waynesville, North Carolina guy myself, but
there you go.
We'll come down to Cherokee for the golf.
I feel you.
Fair enough. So, and then obviously Big Cedar's coming up. Doesn't need an introduction. Everybody's seen the videos with the tornadoes. That's why you listen to Chris when he tells you to get off the golf course when severe weather's coming, is so you don't get stuck on the golf course with a tornado.
And that's why we yell at you when you don't immediately come in.
Correct. So,
speaking of the tornado, any kickback on Paynes Valley? I mean, I saw everything online, and I think we saw it last week, but someone mentioned it in the chat, but never really got discussed. I mean, is it course okay? I don't know anything other than the video. Yeah,
from everything we've heard the golf course okay. It looks like one of their golf carts was damaged, but they've got a big fleet, so they'll be okay.
They'll be fine.
Got flipped, but it's we haven't heard anything otherwise, and so we'll have our pre-event call with them probably next week. So we'll get more information. Of course, we'll probably razz their staff about it a little bit. We've got a great staff at Big Cedar to help us. Ozark National, easily, in my opinion, the number one golf course in Missouri. I was very skeptical when it jumped up in the rankings. Jody, we've talked about being a Raider. Anytime you see a golf course jump up that quickly, you're like, yeah. And I played it, and I was like,
a lot of hype. Yeah, no, the architectural work that they did to build that golf course on those little finger ridges going out and being able to use the flat pieces of ground that they had to work with and make it kind of make sense from a routing standpoint. It's a stroke of genius what they did there.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's very walkable, which is really unique for a mountain course. It's probably one of the best walks anywhere. If you pull up in the parking lot and take the shuttle up to the clubhouse for Ozarks, I promise you are not thinking about walking that golf course, but you should. You should. It's really, really like you say, it's very walkable. And it's a easy walk,
great track. Really loved it.
Yeah, and Paynes Valley, obviously, Tigers course. Everyone wants to play it. It's wide open, immaculate, but a lot of fun. The 19th hole is certainly something that is extremely memorable. We're working on a couple fun things this year to raise a ton of money for Folds. So we've got a few things in store for the 19th this year. We're gonna have some fun with that. So stay tuned. But yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
There's a question about if there's anything going on Friday evening for Sequoia.
Well, we'll have a 4-ball. So
Friday 4-ball that the night before or day before.
Yeah, so once that finishes, we'll probably do some registration for tomorrow or for Saturday to get things started, but nothing official. Last time it was just casual hangout up at the pro shop.
I got a buddy that has a brewery up there. If you want to put something together, be pretty easy.
Nice.
Now we're talking.
It's something.
And it's
the
Cherokee Maggie Valley, so there's plenty of mountain water up there in jugs as well.
Something the mountains of Western North Carolina have no shortage of.
Correct. Well, we'll be right back with a quick message from 2 Under, and then we'll preview a couple of majors. I want to talk a little bit about the championships, and then we may even sign off a little early tonight, Jody.
Wow. All right.
Excuse me, Mr. Fowler? Aren't you forgetting something?
Thanks, man.
Oh, we lost Jody.
Oh, just had to go find the AC to make sure we got that working.
There we go. There we
It's a
go.
little toasty in here.
Yeah. So how excited are you for French Lick in the end of July? New venue for us. Obviously sold out.
You know, that's one that's been high on the list. Every time we would put something out to the members, hey, where would you like us to host? French Lick is always in the top 10 or 15 requests of, please get something done there. So I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. I think, the players are going to have a really fun time, a great experience. And again, another kind of off the beaten path place that you would never expect to have that high quality of facility in the middle of nowhere, Indiana.
Right. It's going to be great. 120 players. Obviously, you got the Donald Ross course, which is super historic, really, really good. One of the best classic designers. And obviously, Pete Dye has done so many great golf courses in Indiana. You look at the courses up at Purdue, obviously, the Dye Club at French Lick. Very well-known designer in the Midwest. Has done really, really well. So I'm kind of laughing at Christian in the chat. He's asking about electric car chargers. I'm like, there's a Tesla.
Right. Supercharger.
So I don't know anything about that. So sorry. The French Lick's going to be good. And then the only major left in the 2024 season that still have spots available, Bears Best in Atlanta.
Southern Brawl, baby.
The Southern Brawl, the last
Great.
chance major
Great course.
mid-August. So, Nathan, obviously you were a winner there last year.
Yeah, it was. I'm telling you, there's those 2 par 3s over that one body of water, and if you can get through those 2 par 3s at even par, you can have a solid round there.
Yeah, I concur with that. Those are 2 of the toughest pair of par 3s on a championship course that we play.
I agree.
I would say on our Rhoda.
Yeah, Garrett, the Friday 4-ball is not full at Sequoia. We still have spots available, so jump on that. We'll be sending an email out shortly to everybody that's in the field at Sequoia. But yeah, no, like you said, I remember the first time pulling up to number 6, that first par 3, and seeing how narrow that green is and all the trouble in front. But the steep hill behind it, if you hit it over the green, it's almost worse than just hitting the water on the first shot. So
You hit it on the right side of the green, you don't have enough spin on it, it could roll and go all the way into the water. You kind of have to play it over that bunker on the left side.
that's crazy. Good hole.
It's a great hole.
and they've redone their entire clubhouse. I mean, last year, a couple weeks before, they had the sprinkler system go off, so the clubhouse closed, which threw a wrinkle in. They had a bunker project get delayed. Those bunkers are complete now. The golf course.
They did do that Better Billy bunker system, which is the best in golf.
Yes.
Yeah. So good. It's so tough because my club at home just did the Billy bunkers 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime I go somewhere there's not Billy bunkers, you're just like, oh, because those are so.
You played where I play at Black Creek, and it's Scottish style hard pan bunkers. And so it's so funny when I play in tournaments, people are like, wow, you're so good out of the bunkers. I'm like, come play this hard pan that I play out of. This stuff's easy.
Right. Yeah. When the ball actually comes, pops out like it's supposed to.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's always interesting. I don't know, Jody, what do you want to talk about tonight? You haven't been on the live as much as we have.
I know. I've been incognito for kind of MIA for a little while, but I'm just happy to be down here with you guys. I do have my birthday. My boy's having a birthday tomorrow, so make sure everybody gives Bo a shout out for turning 13.
That's pretty awesome.
Teenager now.
It's a scary
kids wearing shoes the same size as me now.
Won't be long. So
That's right.
Chris says we need to talk about caddies.
All right. Yeah. Now let me stop here because it's going to be a spiel on the first tee. So let's start the process now. What is proper caddy etiquette? How should this work? And that way we can give everybody a taste of what they're in for. Nathan, I'll give it to you. You're a player, not an operator. So, Nathan, you show up to events like this. What do you do yourself, and what do you expect for your members in your group?
Well, I think the biggest thing and the number one question you have to ask yourself as a player is, do I have a caddy or a four caddy, and what's the difference between a caddy and a four caddy? Because while it sounds the same, it's not at all. In a four caddy situation, when it's you and three of your buddies going out playing, a four caddy is going to help you anything you want. You can give him alcohol and he'll help you even more. But in an actual tournament situation, off the tee, he's going to give you a general direction to hit the ball. He's going to say, you don't want to, here's where you miss, here's where you can't miss. And then he's going to move on out, and he's, you can simply Google four caddy hand signals, and they're very straightforward. That's safe. If he puts his arm out one side and points down, that's a penalty. It's in the penalty area. Both hands out is out of bounds. If he just puts both hands up, that means don't hit, because the group in front of you is still there. If he puts his hand, does a circle, play away. And then the most scary one as a player that you can ever see him do is this, and that means I didn't see it. So I have no clue where your ball is. But
Good luck.
I think that gets you halfway through the hole, and he can tell you where, just in general to the group, where approach shots go. And then on the green, he can, give you a general direction of what the green does. But, I think the main thing with pace of play, it's going to be close to 100 degrees if it's not. And, if you have a caddy coming in and reading a 18-inch tap in, we could be here until dark.
Yes.
But, in a casual situation on a resort course like this, if you get 2 15, 20 handicap groups out there, let's be honest, that if people pay this much to stay at a place and pay this much to play golf, they want to have a good experience. And in that situation, a four caddy, if there's a ball that's 2 feet into the weeds, it might randomly get bumped out into the rough, so the guy has a shot. In a tournament situation, obviously that can't happen. And that kind of, just knowing that up front, it's not your general, I'm out with my buddies on a Saturday four caddy. But they'll clean your clubs if you want them to. And I don't know how it's set up. Normally you'll have the same guy every day. And I can guarantee you, if he cleans your clubs and does a great job on the first day and you don't tip him accordingly, he will not do that the next day.
You are correct.
He is, the best thing to know about a four caddy is They're as close to a used car salesman as you can get. The better you treat them, the better they'll treat you. And it's not how nice you are, it's what comes out of your wallet. And general 4Caddy tips are 30% of a rack rate for a tee time. So that's the best way to figure it, where you need to tip it on top of your required fee if you want them to clean your clubs.
As Kevin Kisner says, this ain't no hobby, boys.
Right.
These caddies are professionals. They come down here for the season. A lot of them will go back and forth between up north and down here, depending upon times of year. And this is how they make their living. So, I
met a guy that did 72 holes yesterday.
Yeah, be generous, be kind.
Right. I think it can help you. And I'm not saying not to ask them ever to read a putt for you. Like, just don't have them read a 3-footer. If you're having a caddy read a 3-footer for you, free tournament advice, you're probably going to miss it anyway.
Right.
Well, and a lot of times they don't need to step in and read it. They can tell you from across the green because they've been here so long. Right. Hey man, this putt's fast and it's going to break more than you think.
And you'll see cup lines too with the grain here, especially after 10 a.m., 9, 10 a.m. when it gets hot. You'll see the cup lines. You can see where the grain's going, and they'll give you the general direction. That's really all you need. You're either going to make it or you're not.
This time of year with the heat, you can hear the grass growing.
Correct.
It's going to be a good forecast. Is great though for the weekend.
And red has a whole lot of alligators on it, and they're not small. I think we said that, but they are not small.
No, there's some big boys here for sure.
And then I guess the other thing to talk about while we're here with 4 caddies is rule number 8. The whole course playing it as it's found. There's a lot of shots here where you're either going to be in the fairway or you're going to be in a sand dune with large weeds next to you. And under rule number 8, it's a great rule to know if you play I play a lot of competitive stuff, and knowing that rule number 8 is very important. You can't go in there and take John Daly style practice swings to cut the weeds before you hit the ball. You have to play the ball as it's found. If it's in the middle of the morning and you got dew all over your ball, you can't clean the dew off. That's not standing water. You have to.
You can't step on the grass behind your ball in order to make it easier to get your club on it.
There you go.
And if you're doing that, expect someone to call you on it.
Right. And don't think it's going to be a fun one with us when you come in and complain about getting called on it.
We're not.
And the main thing, the first time I ever came here, I think the main thing to know is you're going to have bad shots. You're going to play places you don't want to play, because you can hit a ball down the middle of the fairway on some of these holes and it'll bounce into an unplayable area. But if I've heard Chris say it before, because, Chris is the most positive person in golf, and you literally, he said it tonight. If you have fun playing, you will play better.
Mm-hmm.
If you're pissed about one shot, and it's like I've always said, it's a game of failure, right? We all saw Scotty Scheffler at the Masters on Sunday. He looked bored as he could be. If I hit every fairway and every green, I'd be bored too. It's a game of failure. There's no adventure in that. So you got to make the best of it, have fun, drink a lot of water.
Scotty's having plenty of adventure outside the golf course right now, so fairways and greens are good for him.
Right.
I'll say this too. One of the best things that your caddies can do for you, 4 caddy or regular caddy, is, man, they're generally pretty good at ball hawking.
Right.
And unless you hit it into a lagoon here, which there are a couple of spots on red and blue. Black's not quite as bad, but for the most part, you're probably going to find your golf ball. You may not like where it is, but you're going to find it and be able to play it again. So that's one of the cool things about this place. A lot of Florida courses, man, you hit it 3 yards off the fairway and you're in the jungle and you never find the golf ball again. Here, it's a lot of sand dunes and kind of open waste areas, and you can walk right to it. So I think the one thing that Nathan mentioned, and of course, we'll be having this conversation on the first tee with the caddies just to remind them, but you as a player, it's your responsibility. You do have responsibility for your caddy. So if you have a caddy that's carrying your bag, or instead of just a 4 caddy, you have to make sure that he knows that he can't be touching anybody's golf ball. He can't give anybody else advice or tell them what you're hitting or anything along those lines. Like we have to play this like a tournament round. So just know that if you've got a caddy, you're responsible for them to make sure that they're acting right.
Absolutely, man. So I was just saying there. But Nathan, appreciate
I'm
you
out.
coming on tonight.
Yeah, my wife. I got to get down to the bar. I'm afraid of this high noon tab. I made her go down to the bar, so I got to go. But I appreciate you having me on.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
Hey man, I'm glad you're here. Looking forward to being with you this weekend.
Yep, I'll be downstairs where they serve beverages. See y'all
Attaboy.
tomorrow.
We'll see ya.
Yep.
So, Freddie, it's been a long drive. We're going to take a quick break from our friends at Turtleson, who have graciously sponsored our tea gifts this weekend. And Jody, then you and I will have a little segment to close it out.
Perfect.
Good old Turtleson. I still, every time I laugh at that commercial, good old Andy.
I don't think it's Champions.
It's not.
Yeah.
He actually told me where it was. I forget now, though.
Yes. Christian Alderucci's asking if I'm going overseas. I am in August, first week of August. Be going to England, playing some really good courses over there. Our friend Steve Regal is having a 40th birthday, and so me and a couple other guys are going to go over and show him a good time over in the UK.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. So,
well, you and I had a little fun today doing a little preview for future venue. The 25 schedule is starting to really take shape. Obviously we're not going to announce anything at this point since we're still working on getting contracts done. But I mean, I'm
Phil in the
down.
background to start crying if we start announcing stuff.
Yeah, Phil would be very upset. I mean, we're down to I think I've got maybe 3 dates left to fill, and really just waiting to hear back from a couple of different folks. And I mean, things are really starting to take shape. I think here in a couple of weeks we may have the thing all buttoned up and ready to go.
Yeah, it's starting to appear that way. Obviously, West Coast guys are always asking about big time majors. We got one of those on the hook.
Yeah,
we're excited about that. You guys on the East Coast are going to want to go west. I'll tell you that. Everybody's going to want to go to a new venue we got recently. I mean, unless you hate like major championship venues.
Yeah, I think every region is going to be represented. Every region of the country and every region where our membership is going to have an opportunity to play something, in their area. Maybe if not in their backyard, at least somewhere close.
Right.
And a lot of new ones on the rotation this year. So we'll bring back a couple of big favorites, ones that everybody looks forward to every year. But we got some new spots coming up next year, so it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the other thing is it's a good mix of price points too. There's going to be some great quality courses at a reasonable price, and then obviously there's going to be, some of the Streamsongs of the world that's just first class all the way around.
Yeah. And there are certain places that we know that the players want to play. They have name recognition, historical significance. Big time spots in the major or the professional game, and we know those are going to be more expensive. It's just the nature of the beast. And so we can sprinkle a few of those in there and make it possible for everybody to have that experience, but then try to still make sure that we balance things out with some more affordable majors along the way too. That's kind of part of the reason why we love playing, uh, you know, there in St. Louis, is it's affordable, but it's a really, really good. Ambrier is just such a really good test of golf, and a great tournament venue for us. But it's something that you can go play a major and save a few $100 in the process. So that's as long as we keep doing that and keep providing different levels of opportunities for people that to get into a major and get those points. I think we're going to continue to be delivering on the promises that we've made to the players.
Yeah, no, I think that's important. It's funny you put it that way, because obviously, as we continue to grow and get opportunities and things like that, is staying true to the same values, right, that we got started with. And I think that's really important. Before we get into that, Hohenscheld in the chat was talking about if you like Blue Top.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was fantastic, man. That place is really, really cool. And I've been wanting to get up there for a while now. I've seen some of the pictures and talked to some of the guys in Iowa, and they all kind of raved about the place. But so, yeah, I mean, I jumped in the car last weekend and made a 9-hour drive up from Tennessee to go play it, and was not disappointed at all. Really solid golf course, and not. I mean, I don't know what you expect when you think of Iowa for golf, but I think a lot of people might expect, because it's a flyover state, maybe just flat and like Kansas or something like that. It's not at all. This place has got a lot of elevation change, a lot of rolling hills up and down. Fantastic green complexes. I mean, really, really good greens. The bunkering, the bunker placement was pretty fantastic.
Yeah,
and not overdone.
Yeah, really, really good. Really, really good architecture. It reminds me a little bit to when you're driving into Streamsong, right? You're driving along Streamsong, you're like, this place is super flat. Like, where in the world is this place going to be? And you walk in and you see this place is just stunning. Blue Top reminds me a little bit like that, right? Because, you're driving, there's more rolling hills in Iowa than there is in Florida that we're driving in, but you don't expect the drastic elevation changes that make up Blue Top Ridge, that make it just such a good property.
And a great hotel and casino too. Casinos some are kind of hit and miss if they're not in the big cities. When you get these casinos that are kind of off by themselves, sometimes they can be a little bit ratty or run down. But this place was pretty mint. It was clean, and the whole place was well run and operated. I was impressed for sure.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think it would be one of those places that's just kind of like Bedford was that first year, right? We struggled to get people to come to Bedford that first year, and now it sells out faster than anything. So, so we're about halfway through year 4 of the national APT. Can we still call it an experiment?
No, man, this isn't an experiment anymore. This is we're full grown now.
Yeah, I know, right?
And we're starting to get to the point too where when we call somebody about doing an event, like, they've heard of us and they want us to be there. The conversation that we had today, those folks were excited about the opportunity of working with us, and that's what we've always strived for, is to develop that reputation in the industry. And that's not only a testament to us and Chris and all of the chapter owners that work so hard to put on good events. It's a testament to our members as well, and how they behave, and how professional they are whenever they go to one of these resorts. And this isn't. It's fun, and it's supposed to be. It's not overly serious. Nobody hopefully is playing for their mortgage, but at the same time, people treat it with respect, and that goes a long way whenever you and I go making phone calls trying to ask to reschedule someplace.
Sure. Absolutely. And we try to protect that for our members as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. And sometimes that's having difficult conversations,
Mm-hmm.
but, there's standards
Yeah.
to be in
Well,
our club. I don't know how else to say it.
Well, no, I mean that's what it is. I mean, there like this weekend, there's 128 guys that are paying a lot of money to come down here and have a good time and be entertained. Yeah, they want to compete and they want to grind, but they want to enjoy themselves too. And if there's 127 guys doing that and one that's being a real jackwagon, um, don't expect to be catered to. We're going to root you out because that's not what this is about. We're not here to entertain a bunch of jackwagons that are going to show out and act like it's a frat party.
Mike, do I tell this story or is this an APT after dark? You might have to be the hotel bar to get the one that I'm thinking about. So Chris is saying no. I don't even know if he knows which one I'm talking about. It was funny. I was thinking on the drive. Apparently, Chris drove the whole way, and so I had a little bit of downtime, which was nice. So thank you, Chris. But I was thinking. I remember distinctly a phone conversation we had. It was like October 15th of 2020. So we're 2 weeks from, launching. We've pretty much we're to the point at this point where the first 4 or 5 are confirmed, and then we've got 12 chapters that are on the fence 50-50. And you called me and said, are we really going to do this?
I knew what you were going to say. I was just about to ask, is this a conversation where I called you and said, are you sure we want to do this?
And I told you that absolutely we want to do this. And I thought about it after I hung up the phone. I go, I'm not sure what I'm getting myself into.
Well, I kind of did. I go back to that first year, in the lead up to November 1 when we launched. And it was like being a kid waking up for Christmas every day. Like you and I would literally start texting each other at 6 a.m.
Right.
And usually be on the phone until 11, 12 o'clock at night.
Right.
And it was very, very exciting, a lot of fun, and other guys involved in all those conversations too, with Phil and Fegley and Phil Kakamis and Casey and others that all kind of were a big part of, the launch of this thing. Everybody was on board and ecstatic to finally have an opportunity to kind of put their stamp on things and have an influence over how their tour, they wanted to take ownership of their tour and have some say as to how things ran. And, it's hopefully, you as the members have appreciated that and enjoyed it. And obviously by the way that you keep showing up, month after month or week after week as we drive Chris all over God's green earth with that trailer, that hopefully is an indication to us that, we're doing some things right. So.
Yeah, it's been interesting. It's been fun getting to know people. I think what we thought it would be and what it is it's kind of morphed. I think some of the things are similar. I don't think we realized how much work it would be by any stretch, how much travel it would be, how much I would despise traveling at the end of this. And not despise traveling by not wanting to be where we're at, but the things that get you there drive me crazy now.
Oh, I mean, of course, too, you have all the travel things that go along with that, with the points and
right.
the bonuses and different things, which are supposed to be glamorous and make things much easier for you. But I don't know if that's ever really truly the case.
So I got to tell you, my favorite of all the travel pet peeves for me to watch And I'm going to pick on Chris for just a second.
Is me pulling up to the airport 30 minutes before your
No,
flight?
this one beats that. That drives me crazy. I can't do it. I just I have a tick. But no, what cracks me up is so Chris is the most level-headed driver on the road that I've ever met. Like nothing phases him, which is why I'm just fine with him driving whenever he wants to drive. What he cannot do is pull into a gas station at a Love's with somebody stupid that sits in the diesel rain.
I can't do it.
He's not even on camera. You're hearing him. He can't do it. It's so funny to watch because he'll go 0 to 300 in 2 seconds. He gets so mad. And I'm just like, hey, Chris, do you want to switch? I'll just drive until we can park the trailer at the gas station.
Because they've got their Camry parked in the diesel spot.
Oh, my gosh. And then they're just sitting in there and sitting down in the Hardee's in the 2 booths, eating their lunch, watching us. Drives me nuts. But it's been fun. And, I just I know you feel the same way, Joe. We just appreciate y'all that are coming along for the ride. It's been a fun journey. It's fun getting to know people from all across the country. The relationships and the networking are by far my favorite part of the APT. And Mark's in there goes, you have no idea. I'm like, I know. I don't go on all the trips. So.
Well, look, we have family, right? That we created this to be our own club, and your club, in a lot of ways, in the old days, our dads and our granddads, the club was their family, right? That's where they went and they hung out, and they knew those people as well as they knew their own children. And we kind of created this to be the same way, that we wanted it to be your club. That instead of spending your dues to join a local club, that you use that same money to travel and go see your friends and meet up in different places and enjoy yourself. And what I've enjoyed is now, having done this for 4 years and started on the first tee and telling announcing names, and I literally know probably 2,000 members now by first and last name from all over the country. And I've never been able to do that and create that type of network of friendship and all over the country without this and without the APT. So, and then it goes a little bit deeper with the chapter owners and folks that we've grown so close with, who have invested with us and their time and talents and, believing in what we're doing. And, can't say enough for them and how much we appreciate them as well.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the best is yet to come. That's the best part. We're working hard. We've got
next year's major schedule is going to be lit.
Yeah, next year in general is going to be lit. I mean, this year's lit. I can't wait. North American Championship in Myrtle Beach, True Blue Caledonia final round. And then we get on to 25. And, this has been a year as we've been figuring out processes internally and things like that. And have kind of found a direction and, got our stability, and now it's time to run. So, I thought they have been running for 4 years.
Well, and look, our family's grown too. I mean, it was you, me, and Chris, and now it's it's Allie and baby on the way, and
Phil. Don't forget about Philly, Phil.
So yeah, I mean the home office is twice as big as it was, 3 times as big as it was when we first started.
Yeah, and we've pretty much outgrown it, the actual office. So there's so much crap in it now. I mean, wonderful merchandise that we love to stock.
that we would love for you to buy.
So, correct. And you get $50 of credit to buy it. 2024 member. That's the code.
That's right.
That's all you got to do. So, anyways, well, it's almost 9 o'clock. It's time for us to sign off. Since people know that we're sitting in the Streamsong Resort, my phone, speaking of APT family, my phone has been blowing up to go meet up with some people. So we're gonna do that. But next week we'll be back in the office. So we'll have some fun things to talk about next week. Probably a few announcements to make. It's always something going on. So anyway, stay tuned. Play well this weekend. If you're at Streamsong, good luck. If you're not, play well. Lots of great golf across the country.
And happy Memorial Day.
Happy Memorial Day.